him so he gets in trouble. But during that time, they found the gentleman. They found the person whose room it was. Said, sir, you have a stripper's pose. Oh, yeah, I can take it down right now. How much do I owe you? Well, that's like a $500. Not a problem. Can you just put it on my card? Absolutely, really sorry about that. No, and that's the only reason. And that means, if you ever fuck up, like, own it, and like, that's the only way. He's not paying for my guy, because I didn't have to hear this story. By the time I was out of the panel, like, hey, you guys were trying to flag me down? Don't worry about it! Because that's like the convention chairman up your nose. If it's your convention, you don't have to hear about the shit that gets settled until after the con. Because we will want to murder you. They tell us on Monday. And on Monday, I was standing there with the hotel liaison. She hands me the sheet of all the incidents over the weekend. I'm like, oh, this actually is a stripper ball! Did we ban him? Like, no, he was very polite. He said things got out of control. Like, heavy construction out of control. This is premeditated. You don't get a wild hair up your ass and buy a stripper's pole from Home Depot.
I can play some on Amazon now. I mean,
Overnight Ed, tell us a story. Oh, sorry.
I need the mic because I'm quiet. So we all know a few things about running cons because we've done it many times. But the first time, you always make mistakes. So at the first FCN, Friday is a registration rush. So I figure I'm going to go down and help registration. And as I'm sitting there, first day working a furry con ever in my life, someone just walks by with a shotgun. And I just looked at it and like, I think I just saw a shotgun. I'm like, are you sure? I'm gonna go follow them. So this dude's just walking through the hotel, and it's a holodome, so it's like a long lobby, just carrying a shotgun, not having care in the world. As I walk by other staff, I'm like, we're following this guy. We walk out to his car, he opens his trunk, turns around and sees me, head of security, and two other people just staring at him, and he just looks down and goes like, oh, that was a bad idea, wasn't it? And he apologized. It was an airsoft or a paintball shotgun or something. He put it in his car, wasn't going to bring it back to the hotel, but as he left, we looked at each other and said, oh, that was a bad idea, wasn't it?
Des, tell us a story.
Let's see. So this one time we at IFC, we were coming back downstairs after having a good night's sleep on the Friday night. And Saturday morning we run into the hotel liaison. And hotel liaison's like, oh, how's the convention going for you? We're like, oh, pretty good. How are you enjoying the water feature in your con-ops room? We're like, you mean the water? Like, we've had like nice fresh water with some lemon and all weekend. It's been great. She's like, that's not what I mean. We're like, oh, well, someone said something about a small drip. Is that what you're talking about? She's like, that's not what I mean. You have a waterfall. We go in and they're cleaning up from after it, but there is a hole in the ceiling. Not like a little drip hole, a hole. Like some of you who've been on some websites, you know, a hole. Ceiling furry is watching you. Ceiling furry is washing you. So we were like, oh my gosh, what happened? Did somebody in the floor above, do something? Like, well, somebody went to draw themselves a bath and then they went to sleep, luckily not in the bath. But the water just kept going, and flowed over. Like, oh, we're up on the floor above us? No. Up on the floor above them? No. on? No. 4 flights above. The water had done all night long, draining into the room below it, to the room below it, to the room below it, to ConOps. And then we looked at her, our hotel liaison, and we said, was it one of us? And she said, nope, someone who wasn't part of your group.
You have no idea. That's almost always like the third or fourth question. Is everyone okay? Is it an immediate danger? Do we need to do something about this? Are we okay? Can we continue the con? Was it our fault always? And that was never better than that Indy FurCon during the 3-headed monster set. We had just, did we not even get into the set?
I think it was, okay, so it was like literally the start of it. I'm pretty sure it was like right at the very beginning. It was like, hey everyone, welcome to 3-headed, and...
Beep, 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 beep. Like, oh no, fire alarm.
Very first fire alarm we had
Yeah.
at IFC, and we're like, oh my goodness, okay. And everyone clearly, we evacuated the entire hotel, everyone was in the parking lot, like 5 minutes, and everyone was out
That
there.
was impressive.
Everything was great. The hotel liaison walks out and goes, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, it's okay. Everyone can go back in the hotel now. False alarm, and we're like, okay, oh, great, okay, that's good. Good to know it's false alarm. Do we know who pulled it? She's like, the cooks overcooked something in the kitchen and it set off the alarm. We're like, was it us? We realized at closing ceremonies when we told everyone, hey, thank you for evacuating so quickly, and then we were back in the panel again, like literally like 3 minutes later. We started like 15 minutes late, so we all cut a couple minutes off our segment, but everyone was evacuated and right back into their panels again. It was really, really great and fun, and no one was hurt, and by the way, it wasn't us! And we realized we missed the perfect opportunity.
We were so angry.
We should have had AV start to play. We didn't start the fire.
We wanted it on stage. We're like, we have to start opening. I want this song. I run the Con Suite at MFF. In back of Con Suite, there's a soda machine. And that soda machine has a large tank attached to it, filled with a dangerous, dangerous substance. Giza, would you like to explain?
Well, I was thinking of a different dangerous substance. There was no soda machine with my story.
Oh, that thing! I thought you meant the carpet bomb. Okay. That story will be told. I'm asking them leading questions into the story. I thought he was referring to a different story. That is my fault. I know what you're talking about.
You know, the fact that we're having to differentiate which compressed gas we're
That is totally true. Why do we do this?
So we moved to Pittsburgh in 2006, and for the first few years, the hotel and the city and the convention, we were all getting used to each other. Hotels trying to understand how we do things, city and the locals are trying to understand what we're doing, if we're dangerous or rabid or whatnot. And I think it was 2008 in ConOps, we had a call from our hotel liaison, and they said, we're looking over your group's resume, are you using any chemicals this con? And we're like, not really, just office supplies and water and hand sanitizer. And our contact said, are you using any compressed gases we should know about? No. Any industrial gases we should know about? No. And then they said, why is there someone in the lobby trying to bring in a giant tank of helium? And I was thinking compressed can of air. Oh no, industrial size tank of helium. They said, that's hazardous, we can't let you bring that in here. We said, we agree. He did not ask why.
Carpet bomb. Yeah, and actually, I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, we have way too many compressed gas stories. Carpet bomb was a nice simple one. On Suite MFF, we have a tank of CO2 as tall as I am that carbonates your soda. And one night, apparently, instead of turning it off, my assistant turned it up. Now, those are attached by, a little, there's words for all these things, but I'm not technically invited. A thingy attached to the thingy and a hose of a thing. So, it popped off in the middle of the night. And this CO2 canister, now bear in mind, CO2 gas, the canister is filled with a liquid. This is security to alkaline? Yeah, alkaline, go ahead. This is security to alkaline's assistant? Can you guys come down to Con Suite? What's going on? There's a CO2 snake that's destroying the room. We walked in there, and this thing is just, and it's CO2, so it's Iceman! There's fucking icicles here. Oh my god! Like, what the fuck is going on? And my assistant, who's incredibly, like, you hear that street smarts versus book smarts? And he walks in, incredibly street smart. I trust him with every aspect of, like, running this event. Book smart, so he's like, Mr. Freeze was here! How did this happen? And he's checking the ice tank on the back of the soda machine like, I don't understand. That's not how anything works. So we turn it off and the hotel is standing right there, and there is a section of carpet easily as big as half of these chairs that is just soaked with CO2. And all I can think of is, I have compressed air at work, and we'll sometimes turn it upside down and spray it, and it kind of evaporates. I wonder if that'll happen now. No. So we replaced a huge section of carpet before you guys woke up that morning. Most hotel carpeting, I don't know if doesn't look like here. Most of them are in squares. Like, if you really look at, like, industrial carpeting, they're all kind of in squares because you guys pee on things. So what they'll do is, it's like, you destroyed the hallway carpet, take out those squares, put in the new squares, throw out the pee ones, kick you out of the hotel, and say you're sorry, $500, come back to the con. Oh my god. Hey!
You remind me of those thanks, man.
Of course. Ask me a question to lead you into it without fucking it up, and I might do that. Ed!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sometimes those damages are our fault and not the attendees' fault. FCN had a wonderful panel called Will It Blend? People who remember these things, there were these Blendtec blenders that you could blend anything in. Anything. The first year we did it, it was great. Ink cartridge explodes when you blend it. A deck of cards just gets shuffled. There was a stuffed animal with a plastic head, and the stuffed part went away, but the plastic head didn't, and that was really scary. So it was successful, so we brought it back again the next year and put it into a bigger space. The Blendtec, this is not like an endorsement or an anti-endorsement, but the blenders lost some of their pulverizing power as the brand went on. So we brought an aluminum baseball bat to help with things that the blender couldn't break down themselves. This panel did not run nearly as well, and there was some frustration which led to them breaking one of the blenders with a bat. Which is not a problem. We paid for the blenders, they break, whatever. But someone had the bright idea of blending those pieces of a blender in the second blender. Which doesn't actually blend, it just creates, kinetic energy for those pieces of blender that are in this carafe. And the shrapnel went through the pipe and drape behind the stage. We are very grateful decided to go back and not forward, But that was something we really shouldn't have done.
Hey, Pandez.
Yes.
Is there anything about a college chant that you would like to tell us?
So sometimes the convention isn't quite like, say, Entercon, where like we dominate the entire convention area and there's nothing else going on. Sometimes you get to share the space with another group, such as, a fraternity. So I am telling this story secondhand because another thing was happening at the exact same time, which is a wonderful, well-known story that I'll tell. But I've had the events recounted to me multiple times from various people. We had a fraternity at the same time as Indy FurCon one year, and we were not quite getting along. We were trying to just stay away from their space and their area, but big elevator bank, we had to share those, and there was some nitpicking, picking on happening from the pros to us, and we're like, okay, just leave it alone. But it just kept happening, and then eventually, what happened was, Furry was waiting for an elevator, opened up, a couple of the fraternity brothers in there, and Furry goes step on, and they're like, no, you may not get on the elevator with us. And Furry was like, I just want to go to the lobby. And as the doors were closing, one of them leans over to the side as the doors were closing, going, you ain't Rosa Parks, you ain't getting on this bus.
Wow, yeah.
So that particular furry came down and explained this to us, and we went, oh no, we will not stand for this. So we called for, so we did the sensible thing, like we could have gone out like, here are LARPing weapons, let's get the bros. Suddenly it's NeroCon, but no. We were like, okay, no, let's do the sensible thing. So we called our wonderful hotel liaison, Tanya. I miss Tanya. She was an adorable, skinny little African-American lady. And we told her, so we have a few things we need to tell you about this other group that's been happening, etc., etc. She's listening, she's like, oh no. And then we tell her the Rosa Parks story. And this is an exact recap of what she said and what happened. Oh, hell! And she was gone. Our head of finance was literally 3 inches from her, and he was like, no! She was the roadrunner. Oh, she was gone. About 20 minutes later, there were signs up all over the hotel. Attention fraternity, emergency meeting at blank o'clock. Be there, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So later that night, after they'd apparently had a conversation from their head of their organization, everyone was getting along a little better. A couple of them were down in our convention space is up on the 2nd floor at that old hotel. And the lobby was down on the ground floor. And there was this big table right in the center of the lobby. And there were some of the fraternity people there, and they were just sitting drinking. And a couple of the fursuiters happened to walk by, and they went, come on down, have a drink with us. The fursuiter sat down. And the fraternity brothers started going, take it up, take it up, take it up, take it up. They want to take their fursuit heads off. And they kept drinking and talking. And the fursuiters went, put them on, put them on, put them on. Eventually, there are about 100 people in the lobby between the fraternity brothers and the furries, and all intermingled, mostly furries on one side, fraternity brothers on the other, but intermingling, some of the brothers wearing fursuit heads, some of the fursuiters just headless, and everyone drinking and chanting a wonderful chant.
If you you are underage, you might want to plug your ears.
Should I ask if there's anyone under 18?
There is underage people in this audience. We will give the cleaner version.
I will change it. So,
Do it anyway.
I will now switch perspectives on this story to Todd, our head of finance at the time. We had just gotten out of the very first time we ran Mistake, or MST3K, which again is the other story that he likes to tell about me. And Todd walks out and goes, oh, that was a fun panel, everything's great, and all of a sudden, all you hear is 100 people chanting, drink mother, drink mother, drink mother, drink. And I'm censoring that. There's 100 people chanting that in the lobby, and he goes, so he slowly walks over to the little balcony beside the escalator where you can look down, and he's like, and he looks over, and there's another balcony on the other side, and there is our head of security, head of Dorsai over there. He's looking down, Todd catches his eye. And the Dorsai goes, and Todd looks where he's pointing, and it's the hotel staff, which had come out from behind their desk and were just watching all the furries and brothers drinking and having fun. Some of them were taking pictures of it. And Todd goes, and the hotel staff went. They were just enjoying it. So eventually everyone got to have fun, but yeah, a few staff members were like hearing the chant from the other floor and going, what? Why are there hundreds of people chanting and swearing? And this is on YouTube if you don't believe me. Furry Fraternity Brother IFC 2011, was it? No, 2012. 2012, Furries and Frat Boys, enjoy.
Yes, and answer your question, Kage was at that convention, and if you've never been to IFC, we have a tradition. We bought him a wine glass this big, with IFC laser etched into it. It can fit about 2.5 bottles of wine. Maybe 3. Is it okay? Well, he was down to his last bottle of wine, so he had a wine glass this full. Walks over to all these fraternity guys and goes, "Hey, not done words and things!" And he looks at them with their bottles of beer and chugs his bottles. To everyone, the furries losing their mind. The frat boys, you can hear a few of them go, old guy. And he finally finishes, wipes his mouth in the back of his head and goes, amateurs and
So I was there as well, and I wandered down after hearing the chant from 3 floors up. And I went down to look at it and saw one of the Dorsai down there, Renegade, was near the fracas just watching. And he looked confused. So I just walked up to him and said, "It's okay, you've got staff up there in the front row," because sure enough, there was someone against the table drinking and pounding with the Dorsai. And he just went, "What?" and just ran over there and go yell at them.
There was a Dorsai drinking with all of them.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Why am I hearing about this 5 years later? I wasn't at the time. I should have found out before.
You were the bank of Des at the time. You don't tell the bank how alcoholic all your investments are.
Quick fire round.
Quick fire. All right. Things that have gone out over the radio at conventions. Things that have come out over the radio at conventions.
It's okay, they called the police.
Should we do anything about the people juggling fire out back?
This is Con Store to operations. Do we have any more poppers? This is Con Chair to Con Store. Do you mean novelty popping discs? Yes, I do. Please call them novelty popping discs. Things that have gone off over the radio. the radio, things that's like one-liners from the radio. So he was, this is what happens. People walk in and start yelling into your ear, and you're like, oh, smile at the audience. Murder later.
Random radio call from 1AC many years ago. Someone radioed me and they said, can you run a pair of scissors down to the art show? And I said, can you repeat that? Could you run a pair of scissors down? You want me to run with scissors? Is that
Hey, there's some half-naked guys upstairs. Don't worry, they're wearing pants. And they're throwing pies at each other. Should we do anything about
Third class. This is the director of operations. That's a panel. It won't be here next year. Which one are you remembering?
Okay, it's really nothing major, but from MFF, DuckTales. All weekend long on the radio. Immediately after, please stop saying the DuckTales theme on the radio. Thank you.
No, next line right after this. Please stop singing the DuckTales theme in the radio. DuckTales! Alright, shall we go with our favorite? This is security to, charity? This is charity, go ahead. We've got some half-naked charity bears laying on the info desk. What should we do about this? This is operations, please repeat. This is security, you heard me. The MFF charity bears, like, really quick, it's actually, we'll do the fast version. Who does not know about the MFF charity bears? Oh my God! God! Charity, I mean, to all of us, a lot of the reason we do this is that feeling that you get. You guys have been throwing this at me today, and this is all going to charity. The furry fandom is one of the greatest things in the world, and this right now is a little over $700 and then some toy money, I think. But guys, this is the thing about that. We know what we do. We know what we are. But when you bring in outside forces, they're not sure, and that is what a charity is. If a charity doesn't know you, like Anthrocon doesn't have this problem, they're so big they're all known. But us in Wisconsin, Illinois, even MFF in Chicago, your charity might not necessarily know exactly what you're doing and what you are. Sometimes you have to explain it, and then they look it up on YouTube.
Furry Connection North. This was, I think maybe the third year, you might remember, Ed. We picked Global Humane Society as our charity one year. And they changed their mind a few weeks later, which was kind of surprising. I'm not sure it's ever happened for FCN then or since. So we found another local charity, we moved on. And I think after the con, we sent them a photocopy of the check we wrote to the charity. This could have been yours.
FCN, if that is an FCN check, you said year 3? Quite a bit. Sure, FCN was one of those glorious conventions.
How many did it?
5 minimum. Yeah.
So I'm going to break a rule. Sometimes the charity looks it up, and sometimes they say, we're not going to tell one of our people. It'll be fine. So this year for MCFC, it was some kind of, they did training dogs to help vets. Pets for Vets was what it was called. So great charity, great work, and they were great people, but they said, like, we're not going to tell one of them what's going on. It'll be a surprise. And she showed up. Apparently she thought it was just going to be a pet event, and there were just going to be dogs everywhere. She brought her dog, Link, who was very popular with the first years. There were a lot of great photos taken. Photos she sent to her son in New York while she was being confused. Her son They listened to us, they were engaged, some of them were emotional over our stories. The dog loved it, like, super positive story. But that caught wildfire. It went as far as At Midnight and international, like national news at least. So I got to have the distinct fun of answering all those press calls and emails. The first one just wanted to comment, and I made very sure to get the number out there and tell everybody that she had a great time. The second one actually went and interviewed the woman, so she was glowing about the whole thing. She loved it.
Yeah.
Fox, local Fox. And the third one just asked for a comment and, said the same thing. It was great. We raised a lot of money. We're very happy for that. And then they're like, by the way, do you have any comment on what's going on in Colorado?
Oh.
No.
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 No comment. Yeah. All right, guys, I do apologize for those who don't know. I'm about to perform with Kage in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to give you one last story that I promised a very good friend of mine that I would tell today. And then I'm going to turn the panel over to my good friend Giza. Somebody had mentioned this earlier. And since we were talking about radios, I think it's only appropriate. Because even those of us who know what we're doing, at least pretend to, we make mistakes. Oh, yeah. So there I was, back of house, MFF. Woody, the financial director, and my good close friend Takaza, who I believe at the time was running multiple departments, were sitting back there decompressing. And you have to do this at cons. You have to decompress. And this was the con that the entire convention, people were going, DuckTales. Well, one of those had just went out over the radio, kind of smiled, and Woody, the financial director, who's going to yell at the financial director, grabs the radio, the duck is in the oven. Okay. Takaza, the oven has been set to 1. And now people are just going over the radio, and there's one, and it wouldn't have been funny, except that was the first year, and that's why woo-woo was happening. For some reason, they made a department of 1, and his job was to make sure that the radios were being used properly. He hated his life. So you would hear, please stop. This is not what the radios are for. He said 4, watch out for the golf ball. So we're all laughing in the back room, and as we're laughing, Woody leans over and he knocks over a bowl of dried oatmeal that just spilled all over the floor. So this is Consuite, the oatmeal has been spilled. And Woody, my financial director Woody, went white and started to shake as his smile spread across like the Joker. Takaza looked at me and he is just like, and all of a sudden, security comes over. Wait. This is security. All radio chatter ceases right now. Where has the oatmeal been spilled? This is security to Outline. Outline, what is your current position? Where is the oatmeal? And all I could think is like, does security double as janitorial? Nope. My financial director, who is now doubled over on the floor. And Takaza, who is clutching his side and trying to hug me, knowing that I am in a lot of trouble. Slowly got out of their mouths, oatmeal is a code word this weekend for money. I may be running Consuite, but what do I do with conventions? Charity. I almost always have charity money on my person trying to get it to where it belongs. The guy who walks around with thousands of dollars of charity money just said the money has been spilled. I was banned from radio use at MFF for 2 years and I never looked back. the panel, I do apologize. It's just I can't be late for this one because we need to get prepped backstage and I need to drink a bunch of tequila. Thank you guys so much.
Now we're doing-